Good afternoon, everybody. Caroline here from Inspire to Change in Thrapston, Northamptonshire, coming back to you with another Facebook Live. And over the last few weeks, we have been taking a closer look at anxiety, helping us to be able to understand what anxiety is, why it happens, and why some of us may be more prone to experiencing it than others. So if you haven't seen those videos, just go back to the video section or the live section at the top of this page and you'll be able to catch up on all of those videos. But now I want to turn our attention to some simple things that we can do to be able to help ourselves. So each week we're going to be looking at a very simple but very highly effective technique that we can use to help keep that anxiety under control, stop that alarm system going off in our brain that we've been talking about. I want to help us kind of build up a bit of a toolbox. Now, you might not use every tool that I put forward, every strategy that I talk about, but it helps you to be able to create your own toolbox, so to speak. And this is something that I really love doing with my clients, is we take that understanding of the brain, the brain science behind why our brain is doing things, understand how we can change that, and I help everybody to create their own toolbox of strategies that they can use. So some of those strategies are going to be about how we can keep that alarm system low in the background so it's not firing off so much. Some of those strategies will be more about what we can do if the alarm system does go off to be able to bring that back down again. And these strategies are for you to take and to do with as you wish. So don't just take exactly what I say. If your brain starts to turn it into something else, if your brain is getting creative with it and going, I love that idea that Caroline said, actually, what I would do is I'd do it like this, go for it. Because your brain is then translating that into something that is going to work for you. So feel free to get creative with these suggestions and ideas. I'd encourage you to just give them all a try, see how they work for you, explore how you might change them, and integrate them into your life. So the first technique that I want to talk about, this is the first thing that I ask every single one of my clients to do. So if you've ever come to see me, you're going to know exactly what I'm about to say. And this is all about practicing the art of gratitude. So the first thing I ask all of my clients to do is to write down one good thing that happens every single day. The first question I ask everybody when they come into this room for their session is, tell me what has been good about the week. And that is not because we want to ignore the challenges. That's not because the challenges aren't important, but it's because we need to kind of shift our brain's focus a little bit to give us a more balanced view. So we were talking over the last couple of weeks, we've been talking about that alarm system that goes off in our brain, haven't we? The one that perceives that we're in danger, sets that alarm system off, and once that alarm system has gone off, that primitive part of our brain is on the lookout all the time. It is scanning, looking for every small little tiny signal that might tell us we might have something to worry about. So it's a bit like a radar, okay? Once the alarm system's gone off, there's that radar scanning, picking up every tiny little thing. And of course, if we really were in danger, if we think back to the purpose of that alarm system was to keep us safe back in caveman ancestor times. So the kind of dangers we're talking about are, big slathering animals coming to eat us. And of course, if our alarm system has gone off and gone, lion, of course, its job is to keep looking and checking to see if there are any more. Are we in any more danger? Is there more things that we need to do here to stay safe? So it's natural for that part of our brain to scan and to pick up more and more of those little things, those little problems, those little potential issues. And of course, we're not dealing with lions now, are we? So the things our brain are picking up are much more those small little tiny things that just, are part of our day to day, but it's highlighting them as problems. And here's the thing, when that part of our brain is in charge of doing that, that is all it's telling you. It isn't telling you the bigger picture. It's not telling you about all the other things as well. So when we start this practice of writing down something good every day, a few amazing things happen. First of all, that alarm system part of your brain can't answer the question, what has been good? Because remember, it's only scanning, looking for those problems. So it literally can't answer them. So we can't use that part of our brain to answer that question. So we literally have to fire up that more rational, sensible, balanced part of our brain in order to find the answer to that question. So we are helping our brain to strengthen and get into that habit of coming back up to that rational part when we do this simple act of writing down something good every day. Also, what happens when we notice that good thing, our brain releases those wonderful chemicals that make us feel good. So we get that boost, we get that lift. Particularly, we're talking about serotonin. I'm going to see if I can point. Serotonin is the one at the end there. There we go. Serotonin not only helps us feel good, it lights up that part of our brain that we want to be in charge. It helps us think faster, more creatively, and it helps us to find even more of those positives. So we get a chemical boost from doing this lovely action as well. Also, what starts to happen is that primitive part of our brain starts to get signals it can calm down. Because if we're taking the time to notice, I was going to say the lovely weather is drizzling out there today, okay? But what I noticed was how much fun my ducks were having enjoying the rain today. So if we are noticing those nice little things, well, do you know what? I wouldn't notice them if there was a herd of lions. Pride of lions. Come on, Caroline. If there was a pride of lions looking at me, eyeing me up for lunch, I wouldn't notice what the weather was doing. I wouldn't notice even if it was good or bad. I wouldn't notice what other people were doing. None of those things that we tend to kind of draw on as our things that have been good would be picked up on. So the very fact we are noticing them and we're acknowledging them sends signals to that alarm system that, oh, okay, well, we must be safe. So it starts to turn that alarm system down. And of course, the key thing with this writing down something good every day is that last word, every day. Our brain very much functions through habits, okay? That's how our brain is efficient. When we're doing something regularly, our brain turns that into a habit, good or bad. And this is a good habit, because what happens when we get our brain into the habit of looking for these things that are good, when our brain knows that this is something we do every day, we write down something good, what happens is our brain starts acting in anticipation of that moment when you write something down. So rather than our primitive brain being in charge, scanning, looking for all those dangers, and then on the odd occasion we come up to that rational, balanced part of our brain to find our thing that's been good and we get our one little hit of serotonin, what happens is, because our brain is anticipating that it's got to answer that question, what's been good today, what happens is we spend our day up in that lovely, rational, balanced, sensible part of our brain, scanning, looking for multiple things that have been good. What is going to be the one I'm going to write down today? So we start our day up there, opening the curtains, noticing the weather, getting our hit of serotonin. We have that first cuppa in the day. We get another hit of serotonin. Our brain keeps scanning. Our favourite song comes on the radio as we're driving to work. We get another hit of serotonin. Our brain keeps scanning. We spend the day up in that part of our brain, scanning, looking for those positives in anticipation of which one we're going to write down later. So not only does that mean we're spending our day up there, which means that we are dealing with everything else that comes at us from that more rational, balanced part of our brain, but it also means we get multiple hits of that wonderful serotonin, which again not only lifts our mood, but actually helps that part of our brain to work better. So lots of science behind this one small task of writing down something good every day. So I'm going to challenge you to do this over the next week. Even if you've worked with me before and you've stopped doing this, okay? This is one of the things, when people come back to me for a bit of a top up, when I ask them, hey, are you still writing down your what's been good every day? They'll go, oh no, Caroline, I might have stopped doing that. And of course, it's the first thing I ask them to do, because it's just about getting us back up into that part of our brain where we are at our best, and our brain is releasing the chemicals that help us to be at our best. And it's such a simple thing to do, which is often why we end up not doing it, because it's so simple. So that's why I like to explain to you how it works, why it works, because although it might be simple, it is hugely effective. So how are you going to do it? I wonder how you are going to do this act of writing down something good every day. Loads of different ways you can do it, okay? If you are a pen and paper person, if you're like me and you're a sucker for stationery, here's a little plug. Paperchase at the moment have these really cute little books, which is 365 days happiness journal. So it's just, and there's no dates in it, so it doesn't matter if you miss a day. You don't feel like you can just pick up the next day. It asks you to write down one thing that's made you smile and a visual record of something that's made you happy. So you can even put a picture there, draw a picture or print a picture off. That's one way of doing it. You can just add it if you use a diary. Actually, I have a diary here. At the bottom of my diary is a little space here for gratitude, so I can put my thing there that has been good. If you're not a pen and paper person and you're a bit of a gadget person, go to the App Store on your phone and type in the word gratitude. There are thousands of apps to help you with this task of writing down something good every day. They'll send you a ping in the morning to say, hey, what are you looking forward to? And a ping in the evening, what's been good today? Some of them you can even put photos with, so you can have a photo for every single day. So loads of different ways that you can do that. Find one that works for you if you like to do it gadget-wise. If you want to do this with your family, oh boy, this is an amazing thing to do with your family, okay? Because not only do you get the benefit, they get the benefit too. You're literally training their brain to be scanning, looking for more of those positives. You're training their brain to release more of that lovely serotonin. And not only that, but everybody involved in that activity will get a hit of serotonin listening to each and every other person sharing that thing that's been good. So one of the things that, one of the ideas that I give to my clients if they're wanting to do this with their family is that they have a time in the day. So it might be dinner time where everyone comes together and maybe they have a happy jar or a happy box in the middle of the dinner table, and everyone goes around and shares their thing, what has been good for them today. They write it down, screw it up, pop it in the box or the jar in the middle of the table and move on to the next person. So everyone is actively hearing everyone else's hit of serotonin. So everybody will get multiple hits going around the table, and if someone's had a bit of a tough day, let them go last, because what that means is by listening to other people's good things, they get that lift, and it becomes easier then for their brain to find that thing in their day that has been that good thing. So that's a nice way of doing it. When I work with businesses, what's one of the first things that they change? They change the format of their team meetings. They start with a round of what's been good. Because I tell you what, when you then get to dealing with the challenge that is the reason the meeting's been called, you can guarantee everybody is up in that amazing rational part of their brain where they've got access to all of their resources. Everything is lit up with that serotonin, so they're able to think faster, more creatively, be better at problem solving, okay? Wow, do you know what? How much better your meeting's gonna go if everybody in that room is functioning from that best part of the brain with the best chemicals to help them to be that best person. So, simple act of writing down something good every day. That is my first tip for you. It works on so many different levels for us. It is so simple, but don't be fooled by its simplicity. Find a way to do it over this coming week and just see how different you feel when you do. So, any questions about that, put them in the comments below. I will carry on looking at your comments after, excuse me, after my client sessions today. I'll keep popping in and checking on this video. If any of you've got any questions about that, put it below. If anyone's got any thoughts or any observations about the difference it's made when they've done that, then please do let us know below, because it's really great for people to hear about other people's experiences. So that's me for today. Thank you so much for joining me. And I will be back next Thursday, 12 o'clock, with another tool and strategy to add to your toolbox. So Caroline from Inspire to Change. Go forth and find your thing that has been good today. Bye.